Good afternoon or good morning, depending on what time you're watching this video. This is my introductory video for Math Precal 30. So if you're taking this online, you're obviously on the Moodle page and clicked on the introductory video. Right now, as you can see, I'm on the Chinook opening page, and I'm just going to navigate in and sign into our course, and we'll go through a little bit about the course and some of the expectations of the course that I have and some of the techniques that we use in terms of how you're going to hand things in to me, how I hand things back to you, how how you're going to be paced in terms of time and how marks are going to be determined and things like this. So let's go ahead and click on to the courses. So we'll go to Cyber School here, and I will sign in to the Cyber School website here, where my courses are. Okay, so give me a second to do that. This has still got the old setup yet from last year, so we'll open our Precal 30 here. Okay, so this is the course. So I will sign in just like you did. Okay, so this is the, now don't worry about this announcement here. I'm going to get rid of this because that was for last year. So I'm going to get rid of this block here. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, so anyways, we'll turn this off here so it looks more like what you would see. Okay, so when you get to the course and the video here, you don't see it because I have to post it into the course. So you've opened it up and you've opened this first video, which would be up here. And you see course outline, grades, teacher contact, assessment policy. There is no checklist. I should really remove that as we will be pacing ourselves based on a day-to-day type of lessons. So I'll be posting a video, 25, 35-minute video of instruction with some practice for you each day under the date. So here we have the units in Precal 30. We have trigonometric graphs in the unit circle. That is a chapter 4 and chapter 5 from our textbook, section 4.1 to 4.4 and 5.1 to 5.4. That is a 20% value, so 1/5 of the course. Here we have trigonometric identities, one chapter, so a smaller amount. Chapter 6, 10%. We have function transformations and operations. So this would be the first chapter and part of chapter 10. Okay, if that's the function operations is chapter 10 and the transformations is chapter 1. And that's 15% as it's a smaller chapter. 15% also for polynomial function, a very important function, and that's chapter 3. And logs and exponents is 2 sections, 7.1 to 7.3 and 8.1 to 8.4. Okay, topic 6 is an empty topic here. You can see that it says radicals and rationals there. If we have time, we do a little extra on the radical rational functions, but that still falls under the function section of Unit 3, so we probably won't do too much in this area. Okay, and the final exams were 25%. Okay, closed book exams, but you are allowed to bring in the final exam, I let you bring in a cheat sheet or formula sheet with whatever you want to write on it, standard 8.5 by 11 sheet, and you can start making that at the beginning of the year and use that throughout the year. Now, in unit exams, they're all closed book, and I provide formula sheets for you. So it's traditional chapter exams are like that. Okay, so under the course outline tab, we'll just go through that a little bit here. It'll open a Word document up for you that summarizes what I kind of talked about in terms of the topics and the percentages. And so here is our, as you can see there, course is 5 units. Okay, and there's a breakdown, same as what it said on the formula sheet. Okay, this is important here. Each mark consists of 60% of the unit exam, and 1 or 2 hand-ins worth 40%. Usually 1 at the end of each unit. Sometimes 2 if it's a 2-chapter thing. If you miss the hand-in due date, then your mark has to be 100% on the unit exam, because I don't have anything else to go on. So daily practice is really important. So daily practice will be given to refine our concepts through the course. And as you see in the big solid letters, it is important to do the practice, as it helps solidify the columns and gives you an opportunity to ask questions. But your daily practice is not marked in the sense that it counts towards your grade. It is there to be formative for you, so that you do a few and you say, okay, I'm getting it, I'm figuring it out, or I'm making lots of mistakes. Where are my mistakes? I better talk to Mr. E and see if he can help me out on some of these questions, okay? So that's why we need to do daily practice. And as I'm going to try to basically design the course to have the instructional part being about 35 to 40 minutes long or so, and 20 minutes of practice during class and stuff. Now, if you're online, which if you're watching this video, you would be, you are not live with me. This is a little bit of a change from last year, but you still have an opportunity to ask specific questions to me. And we'll talk about how you can do that here in the next little section. So let's close this up. So if you want to ask me a specific question under teacher contacts here, we'll just wait till it opens up here. I have my email. Okay, this is not the one that I'm recording off of, but it's my robertenglot@gmail.com. Okay, that's where you can send me questions. If you're going to hand something in, you're going to scan it, okay, or your secretary, office manager, whatever, it will scan it using the photocopier and for you, and then you would email it to this address. I print it out, correct it, scan it back with the corrections on it, and send it back to you. I don't like faxes because they get lost a lot, but there's the fax number for Vanguard if you need it. The phone number for Vanguard is this one here. The fax number is a little bit different. I forget what it is, but I think it's 2002, 582-2002. But this is a school number. Okay, and if you need to fax something, phone that number first. Say, I'm sending a fax, if you do it that way. But I prefer scan and email, a lot easier. Okay, if you want to hear my voice or have a specific question that you can ask me, there's my cell number. Okay, so, and I can usually, if you have a little picture or something you want to send, you can snap that and email it to me or text it to me or whatever. I will try to respond to those. Now, I'll be busy during the day for most part, but it looks like I have some supervisionary role in the first term from 2 o'clock to 3. So I'll be doing my supervisionary role of my online students, but I also will be answering your emails and questions at that time. Okay, so let's close that up. Okay, grades. This is important. This is what you click this grades tab, and it shows you what your grades are, what your marks are for the particular course. So it's going to be a little bit different in my view. When you click it, it's going to be showing just you. But when I click it here, you see, oh, I got lots of old people in there. Let me just get that back here. Let me just delete those. If you click that, well, it's last year's. I won't show you okay, so as you can see here, these are just Vanguard kids and a Maverick kid here that I had last year. So here's your hand in, here's the mark, okay, and what it looks like. And your name would be in here, but you would only see your own name, not these 7 or 8 people that I have on the first page. But because I'm the course designer and teacher, I see everybody's name. So I'll delete these out for this year, and you will only see your name, and then you'll see hand in one, what your mark is 29. What is it out of? Well, it'll show you what's it out of as well. I think that one's out of 30 and so forth. Okay. And then the marks go here. And if you go to the end of the course, you see your mark. Everybody did pretty good in this course, so they won't mind. See, right there's your final marks. Okay. That's last year's group. Okay, so let's click to gradebook setup, so you see what the grades that I'm going to take into account. So here we have in the gradebook setup, you can see, okay, hand in chapter 4, it's out of 30. Hand in chapter 5, it's out of 30. Each is worth 2.0, 2.0, so 20%, 20% because I've got it out of 10. And the unit exam is 6.0. The unit exam was out of 24. Okay, and the second one here, trig identities, we had one hand in only, okay, out of 35, and quiz out of 21. Okay, and transformations, again, one hand in only, okay, and out of 34, and one out of, and here in polynomials, one hand in only, and logs, one hand in only, okay, and then the final exam was worth all of the marks in that section, 25%. As you can see, each of these dark terms indicates what the overall percentage is. This is out of 20, this is out of 10, this is out of 15, 15, 15, and 25. Okay, and that's how I determine your marks. So as you can see, what you're going to be responsible to getting to me is you're going to have a total of 6 hand-ins and 5 quizzes and a final exam for the full term. Okay, and like I said, I have to update and get rid of some of those students there and put new students in. Okay, so let's close this up. Go back to the original page. Okay, now how is it going to look in terms of each of the units? Now you can see the unit that we're on will be blue like this. Now that we were finishing last year, so I haven't changed it over, but we'll be starting with this unit here. So if we click into unit 1, trigonometric graphs in the unit circle, it'll look, you won't see this type of stuff here. This is all from last year. It's all grayed out. These are all typically, each day you'll see, like it says, September 2nd, degrees in red, radians, the notes. And then there would be a video that accompanies it now. I had some issues with that one apparently. So here, let's just look at an example here on September 6th, part 2 of that degrees and radians. So the notes would look something like this, okay, that I would save. Okay, so you can see here, it's just a page that I use Smart Notebook to take notes. So this is second class of day. Here's an example question. Find the radian measure. Here's the technique. And as I'm working it out with you, I would be doing some verbal explanation as well of all these notes as we go through them. Now, these notes, you can take them as you're going along with me through the video, or you, since you'll be doing it after, you might, and here's some practice that I would have for that day. Or you might be just printing them out if you find my writing legible enough, and then just follow along and work out some practice with me as well, depending on how you like to do it. Okay, so that's what the notes look like. Okay, and they would come, and this is the tool here. I think I've got one open here. Go back here. And the video would look like this video. I'm using Screencastify this year, and these were old Adobe Connect videos here, and so they would be different. So when you come in here, I'm going to change it over to student view. This is what you would see right now. So if I go switch to student, you would see nothing in it yet because I haven't posted the first video yet, and that would be September 5th video, which it's still August here. I'm just doing an introductory video, and then I would post it under, and it would all be under here. Okay. All right, so that's basically the course. Now, a couple of things I want to mention here as I close out of this, and I shrink this down, get it out of my way. The tool that I use for notes is this one right here, and typically it would go something like this. It takes a second to boot up, but I would have my my introductory outline of what we're doing for the day, what our concept is. So as you are logging into the video, you would see me opening this up. I'll let it open here. Takes a bit. I got an old computer. Come on, open up. There we go. Okay, so this is where this is like my Blackboard for you. So what my tradition is here, let's just hide this thing out of our way. So I'll use a fairly big font here for typing. Okay, so I would go up here and I'd say today would be August 28th, or no, 27th today. This is our course, today's objectives. And what we're going to do as our objectives today is we're just going to do introductory video. Introduction to the course. That's my main objective. And my other objective that I'm going to have is do an example question. Show you what that looks like. And so if I was going to do an example question, I would switch over from typing because it's math. And I would say, let's say I would hit my pen here. And this is where I would say our example question. Let's do a simple algebra one here. Let's say 2x minus 6 equals 28. Okay, so this is how I would go about doing an example question with you. So, okay, this is a basic solving for x type question. So what we have to do is on both sides, we have to do the opposite. So we got to remove this or add this -6. We have to remove the -6 from both sides. To remove a -6, we add 6 to both sides to get a 0. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. So that gives us 2x equals, okay, 28 and 6 is 34. Okay, any questions that you might have? Because you're not live with me, you might have to send me after you've taken a look at the video. So now we have to divide by 2 on both sides. And we get x is equal to 17 as our solution. Now, I will have some Vanguard students live with me, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how many take pre-cal 30. So they will be asking me some questions, and that will help maybe for people that are online in terms of you'll be able to recognize some of the same questions that you might have. But if you have a different question and it wasn't asked, there's nothing wrong with you sending me a quick email, and then I'll respond to it as quick as I can. And I might say, all right, I'll get to that later on today. I'm busy right now, but I'll give you an answer before 3:30, or I won't be able to give you an answer until after school or something like that. Okay, so that's what the notes would look like. Then I would save this and I would post it to the Moodle page. Okay, so let's use the next page here. So I'm going to go to the next page here. So, well, actually, I'm not going to extend the page. I'll just use another page here. Okay, forgot where the button was. Down here. We'll go to a new page. Okay, so a couple things that I need from you, just a reminder, and I'll click back into typing. So as you're part of my class, send to email, a contact email. Oops. I did not spell very well. Apologize for that. A contact email that you would like me to use. So when I'm handing things back to you, and in there, state your name, the course you're taking, because I do 5 different courses online. And your goals for the course, or what your main goal is. I'm trying to make sure I get my 75 so that when I apply for university, I've got that, or I'm trying to do the best I can and finish the course and get my grade, or I'm trying to attain a 90, or I just want to get the credit, or whatever your main goal is in the course, and things like that. Okay, and I'm going to stop this introductory video there. So if you have any questions, you can always get a hold of me here at this email, and I'll respond back to you. Now, typically, if you have a question, if I can answer that question using email, I will. If it doesn't it's not readily available to, and it needs some expository, I'll just make a little video like this with some expository around the question. Maybe solve one that's similar to it or exactly like it, and then you can kind of follow through that way. And I'll send that to you to your email specifically. Now, if there's a ton of people that have the same question, I might even post it on the Moodle page. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video at this point. Down here, let's see where it is. That's okay. Oh, that's not it. I got to close this up first to do that, I guess. So we won't save that. And we'll go back into where the screencast file here is, and I'm going to stop the recording. Good luck this year. Don't be afraid to ask me questions at all. Kind of a long introductory video, but don't be afraid to ask me questions about the course. You will probably be a day or two behind where the Vanguard kids are, because I'm going to make the videos as I go along. I won't have them all up there. So your pacing will be following along with me, but you'll be a few days behind me probably. So due dates, will be a little bit flexible on that. A couple days around that date. Like if I say September 24th and I get it on the 26th, I'm not going to freak out. Okay, so good luck in the course.